Good evening, I'm Andy Dominiani. Welcome to News Channel 3 live at 6 on this Monday evening. Well, the new year got off to a deadly start mere minutes after midnight in Van Buren County. Deputies there telling us a man shot and killed two other men during a New Year's Eve party in Lawrence.
The victim, who was still alive after being shot, was yelling during or after the gunfire stopped.
Well, tonight, News Channel 3's Mike Kravsik is joining us live at the Van Buren County Sheriff's Office with information, Mike, about how this could have happened.
Yeah, Andy, and as that soundbite alludes to, detectives say the suspect didn't realize what happened until one of his victims started yelling after the 35-year-old father was hit with a hail of bullets from an AR-15. That man died, and so did a 40-year-old man from California. The suspect was hosting a small gathering on his property when this happened. Now he's behind bars here at the Van Buren County Jail. He faces felony charges of recklessly discharging his firearm, causing death.
We kind of figured it would be something, but we didn't know what.
Neighbors say they were shocked to find out about the deadly New Year's Eve shooting at this large property on 60th Avenue. What was your reaction when you first heard about what happened?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
As fireworks were blasting, investigators say the 62-year-old man who lives at the Lawrence Township property had another idea moments after midnight.
Other than to celebrate, to ring in the new year, we don't really have a clear understanding of why he was shooting horizontally towards the area where they've been lighting off the fireworks.
Van Buren County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Greg Pentland says the suspect said he was going to shoot his AR-15. Pentland says he fired around 24 rounds, not realizing he shot 40-year-old Jason McCreary of California and 35-year-old David Reed.
So the suspect at the time deputies arrived was inconsolable, was very upset at the whole situation. The priority initially was the victim, who was still alive, getting medical treatment.
McCreary died by the time help arrived. Reed, a Van Buren County father of 6, died at the hospital.
So that's the difference between responsible gun owners and irresponsible gun owners. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Nearby gun owners we spoke to say there's no justification for what happened.
He was just showing off what he had. You're not going to make any more noise than the fireworks did.
Celebratory gunfire in Michigan is illegal. Police nationwide have been sounding the alarm bells for a reason.
There's no taking it back now at this point. 2 people are dead and another person, his life's affected now for decisions he made New Year's Eve.
Now, detectives are still awaiting test results to determine if alcohol played a factor. The suspect right now is being held on a $5 million bond. Deputies won't release his name until his formal arraignment, expected to happen here at the county courthouse tomorrow.
And here at home, for the past few years, Michigan Democrats have pushed for gun reform. Several bills have been sponsored, but all are still stalled. For the first time, with Democrats controlling the Michigan House and Senate, the bills just might have some movement. Mid-Michigan Now's Courtney Bennett is joining us with more. Now, Courtney, you talked to a Michigan gun rights nonprofit, so I'm curious what they had to say.
Stella, tonight, this push for reform includes banning automatic weapons in the state and also implementing red flag laws. This is something Governor Gretchen Whitmer says she will be pushing for in her second term.
Let's reduce gun violence, the #1 killer of kids in this country, by pursuing common sense reforms here.
At Sunday's inauguration in Lansing, that was Governor Gretchen Whitmer's message when it came to guns in Michigan. Although not a lot of details on what exactly her common sense reforms will be, the nonprofit Great Lakes Gun Rights Executive Director says push is too far.
And in fact, will just make it harder for law-abiding gun owners here in Michigan to practice their right to keep bear arms as protected by the Second Amendment of the Constitution.
The most recent House bill was sponsored by a Democrat lawmaker in Michigan, and it was introduced on December 1st, 2022. It called for the ban of the manufacturing, possession, purchase, and sale of assault weapons in Michigan. This bill was sponsored one day after the year anniversary of the Oxford High School mass shooting.
Democrats are politicizing these tragedies to push proposals that wouldn't even solve the things that they're claiming that it would.
According to the Giffords Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence, Michigan had the 24th highest gun death rate in the country in 2020. And according to that same nonprofit, Michigan has a C+ rating when it comes to their gun law scorecard.
Every life is valuable. And what I would say is that if you think that by criminalizing the ownership of firearms, that criminals are going to stop having guns, that's not the way that criminals operate. What you're doing is you're taking away the ability for law-abiding citizens to defend themselves against criminals who are going to ignore the laws that they are passing.
This will be the first time since 1984 that the Michigan House, Senate, and Governor seat will be controlled by Democrats. Next week is the first time that they're back in session, and we will wait and see what bills they decide to take up.